It's the second to last home game for the Wheaton Thunder as Soren Richardson, fresh off a 54-point masterpiece, and Coach Schauer picking up win number 400. Squares off against the long-range sniper and Eric Victorson and the Carroll Pioneers. We'll send it down to the living legend, Tim Martin.
National Anthem. Tonight, the anthem is performed by the Vivace Violin and Viola Ensemble from Wheaton College's Community School of the Arts. Vivace is under the direction of Sarah Lindquist. For the Vachi Violin and Viola Ensemble from Wheaton College's Community School of the Arts under the direction of Sarah Lindquist. And now the starting lineups. First for the visitors from Carroll, at guard a 6'2" senior out of Bartlett, that's number 4, Aaron Wofford. At guard, a 6'3" senior out of Spokane, that's number 10, Kylo Simpson. At guard, a 6'2" senior out of Spokane, that's number 12, Kobe Simpson. At guard, a 6' senior out of Oregon, 34, Eric Victorson. And at forward, a 6'8" junior out of Janesville, that's number 41, Jacob Neighbor. Carroll University is coached by Taylor Jansen, who's assisted by Max Johansson and John Kriedler. And now, Wheaton College fans, on your feet, the starting lineup for your Wheaton College Thunder. At guard, a 6'2" junior out of Fort Mill, number 3, Kyle Nebbs. At forward, a 6'4" freshman out of Caledonia, number 4, Kyan Vanderwood. At guard, a 6' sophomore out of Columbus, number 11, Ty Ferguson. At guard, a 6'3" freshman out of Westerville, number 12, Devin Martin. And at guard, a 6'3" sophomore out of Northfield, number 20, Soren Richardson. Wheaton College is coached by Mike Schauer, who's assisted by JP John Panner and Timothy Watts.
Alongside Parker Rogers, I'm Aiden Kong. Parker, a lot to break down the last 2 hours, but what are you looking forward to in tonight's match?
I'm looking forward to Wheaton continuing their hot streak. Obviously, they're coming off of a great win against North Park. I'm looking to see how they continue this hot streak. You know, coming off a win of so many losses, Coach Schauer having his 400th career victory.
And let's roll from King Arena. Carroll, meanwhile, coming off their 5th consecutive loss, 6-14, 2-9 in CCIW play. Last loss to Carthage on February 5th. Inside mid-range jumper by Jacob Neighbor, able to bang it in.
Yeah, that loss to Carthage was a bit rough for the Pioneers. Kobe Simpson led scoring with 15, and Vickerson was close behind with 14. Didn't necessarily get it done in the way they wanted to, but they're looking.
And splashing that triple, it's Kyan Vanderwood from downtown off another double-double for him.
Vanderwood has just been so impressive so far this season. The freshman has really stepped into this big-time role that Coach Schauer has really put him into. Put a lot of faith in this young team. 17 points, 10 rebounds for Kyan Vanderwood on 52% true shooting. Here's Kobe Simpson inside, and he's going to be fouled on the way up. See if we can go back to the replay here. Simpson going against Martin, and Martin just gets a little over the top.
So Kobe Simpson Sr. as Spokane, Washington, brother of Kylo Simpson. Second team All-CCIW selection. And let's go back to that replay from Kyan Vanderwood.
Yeah, this is just a great shot by Vanderwood. Gets the space that he's looking for, not really contested, and he bangs down the triple.
Simpson knocks down both free throws. Pioneers up early 4-3. Meanwhile, the Thunder coming in this game 4-16, 1-10. You said it before. They snapped a 13-game losing streak, beating North Park, getting over 100 points. The longest losing streak in program history finally erased.
Yeah, it's just a testament to this team, right? It's a testament to their resilience.
And there is Kyle Neves able to bang that one in. Had another impressive performance against North Park.
Yeah, this Wheaton team has been through a lot this season. They've gone with the undulation of the ups and the downs. But through it all, they've had unwavering faith and total belief.
15.6 rebounds for Kyle Neves, as Vanderwood almost stole that pass from Eric Victorson. 11 on the shot clock now for Kobe Simpson. Simpson spins, still twirling now, 6 to shoot for Jacob Neighbor. Pulls up from mid-range, rattles it home.
Great shot selection by Neighbor there. Really appreciate the way that he was able to calm himself and find the open shot, kind of fading away a little bit.
11.6 rebounds on 50% true shooting against Carthage on Wednesday night. Guy who's averaging close to 12 points per game, leading rebounder on the team. Still came over by Devin Martin. What a finish.
What a move by Martin there. Can we take a moment to appreciate, put him in the spin cycle and able to get that nice layup.
A pretty solid stat line as well. 7.7 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 steals. Vickerson inside and low post, picked up by Martin. Double team cones. Vickerson able to bully ball inside and bang it home.
Bully ball is exactly right, Aiden. Vickerson able just to use his sheer size to back into the post there and get an easy bucket for the Pioneers.
Of course, Eric Vickerson last time out, 22 points, almost broke the Pioneers record for the most three-pointers in a single game with 8, but he had 7 against Wheaton.
Vanderwood wanted to go back to that spot where he hit his first three. Wasn't accurate enough on that one, but a good shot selection by the Thunder there. Looks like Noah Hedrick has checked into the game.
Senior out of Indianapolis, Indiana, has started in 16 games, primarily playing off the bench. Ty Ferguson making his second consecutive start, and that three-pointer is buried by Vickerson. Not surprised to see him from beyond the arc. Vanderwood responds, greases the cylinder.
Somebody say Euro step there? Holy cow! The body control from Vanderwood right there is just absolutely incredible.
Nice backdoor cut, Neighbor again. He has 8 points.
Neighbor, a strong showing very early on here. See how that continues for him through the duration of this ball game.
Richardson off the mark though. Neighbor grabs the defensive rebound.
Now, Aiden, we would be remiss if we didn't talk about Soren Richardson's impressive performance this past week. 53 points.
Neighbor able to grab that rebound. Ball is still loose, and they are going to call a foul against the Thunder.
Going back to that game with Richardson, Richardson had 53 points, which is the most ever scored by a Wheaton player in conference play. Tallied the second most points in Division III in a single game so far this year.
We'll get to that in a little bit. Of course, 53 points. Most not named Aston Francis, who put up 62 at one point. Inside again for Neighbor, lost the ball out of bounds. It'll be Wheaton ball.
Good defense there by the Thunder. Go to the replay here. Just able to create enough pressure to get that ball poked out. So they'll maintain possession.
Pioneers only turned the ball over 9 times in their loss against Carthage, a team that averages about 13 turnovers. Poked out of bounds, it'll stay with Wheaton.
Carthage pretty stoked up about that little poke out there, trying to create some disruption with this Wheaton offense. Knocked their flow a little bit.
Ferguson picked up there by Kobe Simpson. Richardson being hounded, and he's fouled again. That will likely go against, I believe, Eric Victorson. Rather, Kylo Simpson, correction. Richardson catch and shoots. Friendly roll, won't go. Kyle Neves got the rebound, able to save it to Noah Hedrick.
Hey, Great awareness there by Hedrick, able to secure the offensive rebound and get the second chance points. That's going to be something that's really important for the Wheaton offense. How are they able to secure these second chance points?
Hedrick did not score against North Park. There's a 3-ball there by Aaron Wofford off the mark. Another rebound by Neighbor before Hedrick hooks it and takes it away.
Great determination there by Hedrick, showing why he deserves to be on the court right here.
Richardson, all gas, no breaks, easy deuce.
Hey, that's a phrase that I'm used to hearing. All gas, no breaks. The mantra of the Wheaton College offensive line, which I was fortunate enough to be a part of. That was a great move there by Richardson.
First field goal there for Soren Richardson. Good defense there by Ty Ferguson on Kobe Simpson. Nebs for 3. Rings out though, Neighbor with the rebound.
Nebs, the leading three-point shooter on this team, unable to grab that one, but I believe these two teams are the second and third highest three-point percentage teams in the CCIW.
As there's another foul. It's going to go, I believe, against Kyan Vanderwood. Carroll makes a slew of substitutions. Justin Steinicke's in. Evan Bland also just checked in, as well as Lamar Smith. Here's Bland to trigger it for the Pios. 14:57 tie ball game, 13 apiece. With Carroll shooting 5 of 8 so far from the field. Thunder 6 of 10. Bland, nice backdoor cut, and the block right there by Vanderwood. Ball still on the ground and recovered by Lamar Smith.
They got a lot of open people on the perimeter.
Victorson, easy floater right there.
Yeah, just a great shot selection. He saw the open lane and he took what was given to him. Not going to argue with that one too much at all.
14.6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 66% true shooting for Eric Victorson against Carthage. Hedrick muscles home.
Hedrick finding his stride early on here. See if that continues. See who they rely on mostly to shoot this evening.
There's Kyan Vanderwood now on that fast break off the miss from Eric Victorson. Vanderwood draws the foul. Shot is not going to count though, so he'll go to the line for only 2 free throws, despite the crowd's reaction.
Yeah, the crowd definitely not pleased with that one. Let's take a look at Vanderwood here. He goes up. They say it's not going to count. Happened before. Emphasis on the fast break here, Aiden. I think it's great that Wheaton is able to perform well in transition.
So it's not a shooting foul. Soren Richardson still scores 2 for Wheaton.
Yeah, just an easy catch and shoot for Richardson there. Against North Park, Wheaton tallied 22 fast break points. Look for that to be a point of emphasis tonight. They're going to rely heavily on that.
Nick Van Eckern is in for Carroll. Another nice backdoor cut in the finish there by Smith.
Yeah, it looked like that ball just got away from him just a little bit.
And it looks like a blocking foul going against Evan Bland against Ty Ferguson.
Yeah, Bland just getting a little too physical in there.
Kylo Simpson checks out for Carroll. Wheaton has made 4 out of their last 5 field goals. A team that just picked up their first conference win against North Park. A crazy CCIW slate. Illinois Wesleyan lost, North Park lost, all on Saturday. This is the final of 4 games. Here's Spears who just checked in. Hedrick. Hedrick, nice move again.
Great move by Hedrick. Hedrick making an impact early here. This is a very close ball game. It's going to come down to who can weather the storm better.
6 points for Noah Hedrick already against the Pioneers. Victorson against Richardson. It got blocked though, but recovered by the Pioneers. And Dom Burns before being taken away by Richardson.
Richardson is definitely continuing that hot streak from a few days ago.
Richardson shot bounces out though, and they're going to stop the play and call a foul likely against Wheaton, excuse me.
Lamar Smith is in pain on the ground there. He is hurting.
Oh, he's still being checked up by the athletic training staff. Took a hard tumble there. We'll stop the clock. 12:49 left to go. Just hope that he is okay. But going back to that North Park game, you talked about Soren Richardson, the record that he had. He did a lot in that game.
Yeah, Soren Richardson put up an absolute masterclass in shooting. To quote the famous Greg Jennings, he put the team on his back though. And he did not back down. He did not give up. It was a really impressive performance that led this Wheaton team to acquire Coach Shower's 400th win, a milestone that he has been after for a very long time.
Lamar Spick able to somewhat walk on his own power as Jacob Neighbor is back in, so basically replacing big men with big men, and here comes Ferguson.
See what Ferguson can do with the ball here.
Vanderwood will take it, and it rims out though. Ball loose, and it'll stay with the Thunder.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that shot from Vanderwood. Obviously, that's the position on the court that he's most comfortable shooting from. We saw him nail that three to start the game off. He's missed his last two from there, but the consistency to keep that shot alive is there.
Ferguson using that Schultz screen. Ferguson fights. It refuses to go in, and another possession for Wheaton. Stays on this end.
Great job utilizing the big man Schultz there. Schultz has that shoulder wrapped up pretty tightly, but still able to provide the screen.
Schultz did miss 2 games though. Well, he's back in that combination. Yet another foul going against the Pioneers. Likely going to go against Evan Bland.
Both teams already with 4 fouls against them. 14 fouls very early on in this game.
Ty Ferguson to trigger it again. Soren Richardson operating on the low post. Richardson spinning. Richardson able to navigate, and it's banged in by Steven Schultz.
Great effort there by Schultz. Crowd absolutely loving that. Just a good concentration and good awareness. See that ball wasn't going to go in. Gets the tap in.
19-17 Wheaton on top. Van Ekren against Richardson. Van Ekren, nice move, can't finish though. Richardson almost fought for it. The ball on the ground, Wheaton has it, but it will be Pioneers' ball instead, as Steven Schultz was out of bounds when he was trying to gain possession.
Looks very interesting there. Neighbor went down and didn't even make an attempt for the ball. Had to imagine, you know what they say, big tree fall hard. He might have taken a little tumble there.
Right now, leading scorer for the Pioneers, Jacob Neighbor, 8 points. Noah Hedrick has 6.
See what Coach Shower has dialed up for the defense here.
Mind you, 7 on the shot clock for the Pioneers. Have to operate with some sort of urgency. Here's Kylo Simpson, 5 to shoot. Kylo inside, offhand, bangs it home.
We've seen a lot of physicality in the paint so far early on in this game. It's a very physical ball game so far. And that's the type of match you're going to have to expect out of these two teams. Very scrappy, willing to get into it.
And Vanderwood on the mid-range jumper, friendly roll, it falls.
Got a nice roll, like you said, on that with Vanderwood pulling up mid-range.
Here's again, Kylo Simpson sinks that shot. Back-to-back field goals for Simpson.
They're going blow for blow, bar for bar here, trading shots.
Schultz sets up the DHO with Ty Ferguson. Picked up by Dom Burns. 10:50 to go here in this ball game. And Schultz trying to feed it inside. Spears almost saved it, but goes out of bounds. A miscommunication there by Wheaton.
Schultz might have had the wrong idea dialed up there. Didn't look like he had anybody open at the beginning of that pass. But it was great effort there to try to corral that ball on the inside. Unfortunately, it goes out of bounds. We'll see what the Pioneers have dialed up here on offense, trying to take the lead.
Weaver lost that ball out of bounds. It looks like it'll stay with the Pioneers, though.
Steineke up close and personal with the broadcast table.
Burns against Ferguson. Burns 10 to shoot. Spinning around now, 8 on the shot clock for Jacob Neighbor. Burns against Nathan Clark. It won't go though. And Hedrick with a nice save.
The Pioneers have been really good about getting the ball low and inside. Look for them to shoot a little more, try to get the ball in on these backdoor cuts just a little bit more, try to create separation.
Steinecke just fouled Ty Ferguson, so it will send Ty to the free throw line. Again, made that start against North Park. Has started including this game in 5 games, being Illinois Wesleyan, North Central, Carroll, and then the North Park. Five points, a rebound, and 2 assists. Ironically, all of his points came from the free throw line. He was a perfect 5 for 5. Down the second free throw, and Wheaton has a 3-point lead.
You know, sometimes it doesn't matter how you get the points, and all that matters is that you get the points. Every point is consequential in leading a team to a win. So playing your part, doing your role, doing your 1/5 on this court anytime you're out there, that's what's the most important thing to do.
Under 10 minutes now left to play for Aaron Watford. Steinecke against Clark. Justin Steinecke with the offhand. It won't go. Kylo Simpson got the rebound go.
Simpson has proved to be a very physical ball player very early on here in this game.
Neighbor mismatch on Noah Hedrick, able to grease the cylinder.
Great opportunities by Carroll to get these second chance points.
Jacob Neighbor, 10 points already for him in this ball game. Richardson from the top of the key, airballs it though, and it'll be Pio's ball.
Richardson was looking for a foul there. He was covered by Simpson. Yeah, he was covered by Simpson. Looked for a foul there. Thought he got a little contact. Obviously, the refs didn't see it. One-point ball game, 9:13 left.
Pioneers shooting 10 of 19 from the field at 53%. Wheaton, meanwhile, 11 of 20, 55%, and another foul, this time going against Nathan Clark.
Let's check the replay here. Clark astounded by the call there, but yeah, he just gets a little, he gets an extension on him, gets into the body a little bit. They'll obviously call that almost every time.
Both teams have 5 fouls in this half, 2 away from the bonus. Kylo lost the ball and picked up by Neighbor. Still a scuffle for it. They're going to likely call a jump ball on this one, as the Pioneers are going to retain possession though.
Hey, good awareness there by Hedrick. He was trying to find an open lane to pass the ball out. Once he felt the pressure, he talked to the ball and was able to secure the jump ball. I think there's a little discussion about who has the ball. Looks like the ball will stay with Wheaton. Obviously, both of these teams on the lower half of the totem pole in the CCIW this year, but still highly competitive teams. Don't let the records fool you. These teams can go at it. There are elite ball players on each team.
We're going to call the foul, I believe, against Kylo yet again.
It'll be Simpson's second foul, 16th foul for the Pioneers. You know, Aiden, I hear Pioneers, and I can't help but think of the Oregon Trail. I don't know if you're familiar with that old computer game. I played it in elementary school.
I'm not.
It's about weathering the storm, the Pioneers. So it makes me think, will the Pioneers be able to weather the storm here in a snowy evening in Wheaton, Illinois?
Vanderwood able to score there off of the Devin Martin assist. And they're back up by 3. 9 points now for Kyan Vanderwood, leading scorer for the Wheaton Thunder. And while Jacob Neighbor, he has 10. Here's Kobe Simpson, 6 the triple.
What a shot by Simpson. I know in his head he was thinking Kobe as he drained that one. True to his name.
Richardson using the Hedrick screen, looks back out, pick and pop. Can't hit though.
Little too strong by Hedrick, but I love the play dialed up by Coach Schauer there. Obviously knowing how this Carroll defense is going to react, leaving Hedrick wide open.
There's Kobe Simpson now. Again, a little too strong, though. It looks like Noah Hedrick bags the board. Richardson spinning, double team comes. Outside, Vanderwood, corner three. Misfires, though.
You know, it almost makes me think, after Richardson's performance against North Park, that one was from way downtown.
It'll be Wheaton ball off the Wofford miss.
Wofford looked like he was shooting that one all the way from Armiding. That's how far away it was. You know, you'd almost think, if you're Coach Schauer, given Richardson's performance on Wednesday night, you would think that Carroll would key in on him. You'd use that to your advantage. Have Richardson drive and fake the shot and then pass it out to an open shooter like we saw off that Hedrick screen.
Here is Kyle Nebbs on the 45 cut, able to bang it in.
Nebbs with an easy basket there. Very quick to get underneath.
Wheaton back up 28-26. 6:50 now left to play. Simpson, pick and roll inside, ball is stripped, and they'll call a travel against Lamar Smith.
The student section is absolutely loving that call. Sometimes the cookie crumbles in your favor. They called the travel right before the ball went out of bounds.
That is now the 6th turnover for Carroll. Meanwhile, Wheaton only has 1 turnover. As the Thunder average the 3rd fewest turnovers at 11 per game.
Wheaton's doing a great job maintaining possession of the ball and being very deliberate with their passing and ball movement.
Richardson thought about the 3, thought about knifing inside. Steven Schultz, boom goes the dynamite.
And the crowd absolutely loves it. Showing the big man some love.
Got a timeout on the floor, 31-26 with 6:17 to go. Wheaton up by 5, and before we continue, let's first talk about the Carroll Pioneers since we did. Coach Jansen entering his 3rd season, technically his 2nd fullest season. Of course, last year Carroll finished 14-12, 7-9 in the CCIW. They lost to North Central in the CCIW tournament quarterfinals, but it was also their first CCIW tournament appearance since the 2020-21 season, and also their first winning season and the most wins they've had since the 2016-17 season when they won 13 games. But this year, though, they pretty much returned the same cast, but not off to the start that they've been hoping for 3 quarters in the game. Only 6 wins.
Yeah, it's obviously not the way that you want to start a season, especially, like you said, Aiden, returning most of the same players. You would think that if you have a recipe that's working and you make it into the tournament and you're starting to make a run, things are going to start clicking. Aiden, you asked me last time what chemistry means to a team. Chemistry means a lot, and obviously this team has chemistry. But it's just not clicking so far for them this season. Yes, it's not the way that they wanted this season to go. It's not how they thought it would reflect on the work that they put in last season. Obviously, Coach Jansen, a very seasoned coach, very experienced, and he's gotten this team to where he wants to be. Sometimes you just have off years. This might be what Coach Jansen is looking at as he's eyeing down the barrel towards the end of the season.
Coach Jansen, of course, knows the CCIW, played at Carroll from 2007 to 2011. He was the interim head coach during the 2022-23 season, but took over for Coach Combs, who left for UW Stevens Point, but hired as the full-time head coach beginning last year. Right now, 27-42 is his overall record. Lamar Smith leaves it short. Carroll able to get the rebound, though. Wofford for 3. Yeah, he sinks it.
String music. There you go. Wofford putting it up.
Thunder previously on a 5-0 run in the last nearly 2 minutes. There's a backdoor cut to Kyle Nebbs. Picked up tightly by Lamar Smith. Ball on the nearly loose, and it is taken away by Smith. Yeah,
good defense there by Smith, having his arms up, blocking that path from Nebbs.
This is a Carroll team that really their only loss would be Tyler Miller, as Steven Schultz stepped on the baseline and will stay with the Pioneers, though.
Schultz was trying to plead his case with the ref not having any of it. There's a unique quality about referees being able to tune out the chatter of the players and just focus on the task at hand.
Referees explaining to the rules people. I believe they are trying to review something right now. They are at the tablet on perhaps whether this is Wheaton ball or Carroll ball, but talking about Coach Jansen, pretty cool story. He actually was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 25, but obviously now he's cancer-free. During that time, though, he got a lot of support from his friends, his family, but also the players that he coached, and actually considered it a blessing in disguise because of the amount of support that he got. And if you know Coach Jansen, he's typically a very positive coach.
Yeah, obviously going through a season like that, it's not ideal. It can be very tough, and just having people to rally around you and support you in any way possible is going to be one of the most uplifting things and a true blessing on you.
Kobe Simpson's mid-range jumper ringed out, though, for Carroll. Wheaton holding on a 2-point lead. Inside, Soren Richardson able to bang it in.
Richardson getting down low. Down and dirty with it in the paint from Richardson.
6 points now for him. Watford off the mark.
Watford thought he was heating up. Bit of a heat check there for Watford.
Kylo slows down, able to shiver it home.
Great shot there.
Kyan Vanderwood, he now has 11 points in this ball game, and there's Watford able to sink that one.
Yeah, nice little mid-range jumper by Watford there.
Richardson maneuvers. Richardson again, bangs it home.
The ability to contort the body while you're in the air is just absolutely great from Richardson there. Love seeing him going up to the rim.
8 points for Soren Richardson. Kobe Simpson leaves it short.
Bit of an aired shot from Simpson, reminding me a bit of the vintage Lonzo ball.
Nebs for three. Can't hit. Vanderwood step out of bounds. It will be Pioneers ball. And meanwhile, for Wheaton, they've made 5 out of their last 6 field goals. Pioneers 1 out of their last 4 in the same stretch.
So far, this is the Thunder's largest lead. It's a 6-point lead. Carroll, their largest lead has been 4 up to this point. We've been trying to stretch this lead as we come to the closing minutes of the first half.
Smith trying to set up a DHO. Here is now Eric Vickerson. Kobe Simpson, inside feed is taken away though. They were trying to go to Lamar Smith. Here comes Noah Hedrick. Able to, oh, he misses the layup.
Gotta be able to make those. But you gotta have a goldfish's memory here, short-term memory. Don't let those shots affect you.
Wofford, same spot, can't hit, tap to Kyan Vanderwood. Vanderwood fast break, spinning, you bet. And we got a timeout taken by Coach Jansen. Thunder up 39-31. It is their largest lead. And now let's turn over to Coach Schauer. Of course, a lot of the chatter was the fact that Coach Schauer finally exceeded that 400-win thresh mark.
Yeah, that was quite the chase. 13-game losing streak, and the entire time he was chasing that 400th win. Obviously a very accomplished career for Coach Schauer. He's coached some great players. Obviously has had 2 Johnson Award winners, and Ashton Francis, I believe, if I'm correct, and
Tyson Cruikshank.
Tyson Cruikshank. Sorry, I was blanking on the name there. It's a very accomplished career for him, and he's trying to rebuild this team a little bit. He's relying very heavily on these freshmen, and just hats off to Coach Schauer, the way that he has been able to carry himself throughout his career, and the leadership and inspiration that he provides to this team and to this program.
Second Wheaton head coach to reach the 400-win mark after Coach Harris. Of course, he's always been third behind Coach Harris and Coach Fun in terms of Wheaton wins, but this is what President Riken had to say, quote, Coach Schauer has always been a winner. What's more impressive than 400 wins is the difference his student athletes make for Christ and his kingdom.
Hey, there you go. Love using the tagline there. Love using the good Wheaton tagline for Christ and his kingdom.
And it was interesting because I talked to Coach Schauer about getting the 400-win mark, and he said, yeah, it was nice, but he actually was disappointed in the reception because he actually applauds the effort that Wheaton played against North Park, and when it's so easy to quit being on this losing streak, Wheaton able to prevail against what was previously the second best team in the CCIW. Yeah,
it's like I said earlier, it's a testament to the resilience of the team.
There's Evan Bland, springs out though. Richardson rebound.
In the midst of a losing streak like that, somebody very influential once said you have to have unwavering faith and unmatched belief and a reliance on the Lord to get you through the tough times. That's exactly what this Wheaton team did.
And Richardson able to bury that mid-range J. He's at double figures with 10. Also getting it done on the defensive end. 3 steals and a block for Soren Richardson. Step back 3, and it's buried right there by Eric Victorson. Not surprised to see him bury a 3. He actually leads the CCIW in 3-pointers, buried with 64.
Make that 65.
Also going to have to be 18th in the Division 3. And as that ball batted out of bounds, it'll stay with Wheaton. But also for Victorson's 7th most 3-pointers made in a single season. For Pioneers fans, the number 1 guy, of course, is Jamie Walsh, who had 93 pointers back in the 1989-90 season.
It's a deep pull right there.
Richardson steps back again. Clings out, though.
Trying to go shot for shot. I'm not mad about that shot. Maintains the lead.
Kobe Simpson unable to finish, though.
Hedrick with a good commanding presence there, down in the post by the basket.
Wheaton shooting 19 of 33 from the field at 58%. Carroll 14 of 32 at 44. Hedrick wants to make his move against Lamar Smith, and they're going to call a jump ball. And it should be Pioneers' ball.
Good effort by Hedrick to try to go up for it. Obviously, he doesn't agree with the call, but hey, when do we ever, as players, really agree with the call?
Coaching under 85 seconds rather. Steinecke, contact. Shot won't go in, but he's fouled by, I believe, Kyle Nebbs.
Yeah, Nebbs obviously really frustrated with himself there. We go back to the replay here. Nebbs gets a little contact. I actually believe that Steinecke, was able to draw that foul just by the way that he contorted his body to get into Nebbs.
So Justin Steinecke to the free throw line for the Pioneers. Started in 13 games. That was mainly because of Aaron Waffer's injury to begin the season, but he's been back at the bench. A guy that scored 8 points against Wheaton the last time out. But 2 games in double figures so far this season. 18 points against Greenville and then 11 points against UW Oshkosh. Knocks down the second free throw, goes 1 out of 2 from the line.
Getting close to that 1-minute mark. This is where you're going to find the determination of the team. What stride or run are you going to make here at the very end?
Nebbs was fouled there by Dom Burns. That should send Kyle Nebbs to the free throw line.
Nebbs cutting across there at the baseline. Goes down a little hard, catches himself.
Nebbs averaging 11.3 points per game so far. Only had 7 points the last time he played Carroll back in Waukesha. A guy, he's basically the Eric Vickerson of Wheaton. 58 3-pointers entering this game. 4th in the CCIW, 34th in all of Division III. But for Vickerson, he's attempted 184 3-pointers. That leads the CCIW, but it's also going to have to be 3rd in all of Division III.
It's a lot of attempts. Gutsy, some would say. But also assured and confident in his ability.
Kyle Nebbs knocks down the second free throw. Part of the reason why Carroll attempts so many threes. You can blame the volume of Eric Vickerson, former transfer from Milwaukee Area Technical College, which is a JUCO. Under a minute now left to play. Steinecke against Nebbs. Steinecke moving. Steinecke, you bet.
Double covered, that didn't matter. It was a heavily contested shot, and Steinecke was able to just get it right off the glass there.
First field goal now for Justin Steinecke in this ball game.
Who's going to swing the tide for the Thunder here?
Ty Ferguson. That one is short though, and Carroll can hold for the last shot.
See who they take. Who do they choose to take this shot to close out the half? Regardless, Wheaton will maintain the lead going into halftime.
Eric Vickerson uses the screen. Vickerson steps back. Cannot hit though. Tracked down by Lamar Smith. Does he get the shot off? No, it doesn't. Instead, it is sent back by Soren Richardson. And that will take us into halftime. Parker, what are your thoughts so far?
This has been a very scrappy ball game. Obviously, it's what we were expecting. Very physical down in the paint, very physical on defense. I enjoy the tenacity that both teams are playing with, but obviously we got to find a little bit more of a stride going into the second half for both teams. Obviously, Wheaton relying a lot on Vanderwood and Neighbor leading the charge for the Pioneers. So look for those two players to really lead the charge here in the second half. Also look for Richardson to get hot.
And we'll bring you the start of the second half after these messages and a word from the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network.
I would say be bold. There's a lot of people here on campus who want to enter into a relationship with you. So many programs and things to get involved with, but get involved and be bold in that. And also just be unashamed of who you are. Wheaton, there is no perfect Wheaton student. Rather, we're just a bunch of broken, sinful people who are just in pursuit of a perfect God. Orientation committee, and then also, of course, transfer orientation committee if you're a transfer. These are people who have been praying for you and are making so many invitations to enter into a relationship with you in that first month being at campus. So I would just say respond to those invitations, and that goes for OC members as well as the faculty and staff that surround them. I'd say the biggest challenge was how lonely it was. When you first step onto campus, you don't have all the friends that you're gonna have. And so it took time to just learn how to make friends again. One of the best pieces of advice that I had was to introduce myself to my professors as a transfer, and I was surprised just by how many emails I had from professors just making themselves known. So this is a campus where you're so known and loved.
Welcome to the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts at Wheaton College. This beautiful new facility located in the center of our campus is a testament to artistic potential of every person, each one with imagination, creativity, and artistic impulse in the image of God. Home to the Wheaton College Conservatory of Music and Community School of the Arts, this space is not just a building. It's a virtual symphony of possibilities. Designed with acoustical excellence in every room, the Armerding Center is a haven for music study and performance. The Armerding Center hosts vibrant performance spaces, including the recital and concert halls, where the music comes to life again and again. These spaces host performance, worship, and study at Wheaton, in which every note, every melody resonates with a higher purpose, creating immersive experiences which transcend the sounds themselves. These venues, together with the Grand Edmund Chapel, provide opportunities to experience the sacred truths of music and the God who initiated music in the first place. Step into this thriving hub of creativity and community. Every week, the Armerding Center pulsates with energy, offering a kaleidoscope of events, faculty and student recitals, ensemble concerts, visiting artists' performances, and masterclasses. But amidst the excitement, there is deep focus. Our state-of-the-art practice rooms, classrooms, and performance spaces are not just physical structures, but evidence of the college's commitment to acoustic engineering and aesthetic beauty. Over 40 practice rooms, a choral rehearsal room, and numerous classrooms underscore our dedication to the arts and the artists. Our students and faculty now revel in spaces with proper climate control, sound isolation, and ample storage. No longer scattered across 6 different buildings, the Conservatory of Music has found its unified home, a building named in honor of the esteemed Hudson T. Armerding, class of '41, former president of Wheaton College. We are delighted to share with you the Armerding Center. This space supports, encourages, and creates new pathways for artistic engagement. The building is much more than bricks and mortar. It is a symbol of the college's enduring commitment to excellence and the thriving creative community that calls it home. We are eager to share this magnificent building with you, our students, faculty, and our community for generations to come. The Armerding Center for Music and the Arts provides endless artistic possibilities for the enduring power of music to inspire, uplift, and unite us all.
I think one of the fun things about deciding where to go to college is that all of your peers are in kind of the same place. Remember, other people have done this, other people have gone before me and will come after me and are going through it with me now. It's not as isolating as it may feel. I didn't really know what I was looking for at first. It started with me just scrolling through website after website of colleges. I knew I wanted something that was medium-sized. I knew that I wanted a strong natural sciences department. I knew that I wanted to be challenged academically inside the classroom, but I also didn't want life to stop in the classroom. I'm grateful that I was able to visit as many schools as I did. A large part of my decision to attend Wheaton was influenced by my campus visit. What instantly stood out to me was that everyone on campus was smiling. I felt welcomed, I felt appreciated, seen, and wanted. And so the application process itself was really joy-filled. The decision process was quite a different story. I got the decisions and acceptances and rejections back, and rejections stung. I became very stressed. I started to question, do I want to keep going to school? Do I want to go far? Do I want to come closer to home? And that's where I really started to ask, okay, what are the options remaining before me? And Wheaton was again at the top. I started to work with Ellen, my admissions counselor. I just worked with her really closely and had several hour-long phone calls just talking through what does a Wheaton education look like, what is the value of a Wheaton education, and got to have personal conversations and interactions. So even during a time that was really stressful, I felt valued and seen as a whole person rather than just a GPA and test scores.
What does it mean to truly be a community for Christ and his kingdom?
Human communities throughout the centuries have made agreements with one another on how they are going to live.
Faith should not be compartmentalized. It should shape and enrich every aspect of life.
People are coming here to be shaped and formed for life.
All three of these statements, the statement of faith, the community covenant, the diversity commitment, are really ways of fleshing out our nice, succinct model for Christ and his kingdom.
These commitments make Wheaton a place of depth and layers.
Faculty, staff, and students, we all try to follow Christ.
It's a place that really develops the heart, mind, body, and soul.
And it's not about rules, it's about how we show love to one another.
They're not meant to just be these words on a page that sound really good to say, but honestly, like, help us to try to live out those things daily. I see it as like an attempt to marry what we do and say.
The mission of Wheaton College is to serve Jesus Christ and advance his kingdom through excellence in liberal arts education. That mission is empowered by the enduring commitments that we make and keep. Our statement of faith, that's what we believe, our commitment to biblical evangelical orthodoxy. Our community covenant, those are promises we make to one another and to God about the way we're going to live in Christian community. And also our Christ-centered diversity commitment, how we express beautiful diversity within the body of Christ, pursuing Christian unity. Those commitments make Wheaton a very special place, a place we hope that God is calling you to join.
Welcome back to the start of the second half between the Wheaton Thunder and the Carroll Pioneers, with the Thunder leading by 6. Parker, what were your thoughts on the first half?
I thought it was a very impressive first half from both teams. Both teams were driving to the basket, making some really contested shots. It was a battle from all over. Obviously, Carroll shooting a little bit better from beyond the arc than the Thunder are. So look for them to continue that air raid a little bit as we come into the second half.
Carroll looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. Meanwhile, Wheaton looking to win back-to-back games for the first time in 2 years as Kyle Nebbs drains the triple.
And Nebbs picking up where he left off. That's why he's the leading three-point shooter on this team, one of the leaders in the CCIW as well.
That was off of Kylo Simpson. It's going to be Wheaton ball.
I feel like the Thunder may have listened to a little bit of Andy Mineo at halftime. They're coming in hot.
The one featuring Lecrae, I believe.
I do believe.
Richardson for 3. Off the mark, Nebbs gets the rebound, and he banks it in. 5 points just like that for Kyle Nebbs in half number 2.
Great look there at what Wheaton needs to keep doing. The second chance points are going to be huge for the Thunder. They only had 4 in the first half compared to Carroll's 9 second chance points.
11 points for Kyle Nebbs. That very 3 there by Carroll, and it cuts the lead down to 8.
Wofford with a big boom off the 3.
5 points and an assist for Aaron Wofford in the first half. Last time Wheaton won back-to-back games, you have to go back to the NCAA tournament against St. Norbert and St. Joseph in the round of 32 in the Sweet 16. Ferguson for 3. That one off the mark. It goes out of bounds, and it'll be Pioneers ball. Last touch by, I believe, Soren Richardson.
Yeah, they'll say it went off Soren Richardson. Obviously, great hustle there. Could have gone either way. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, could have gone either way.
And they're going to make Carroll redo the entire process.
Actually, they need the mop. It's wet.
Ah, that explains everything.
Hey, you know what they say, slippery when wet. Big cheers for the mop. There we go.
A Carroll team that shot 43% from the field. Meanwhile, Wheaton, look at this, 56% in half number 1. How about the Thunder?
Yeah, obviously they had a great shot selection. They were taking a lot of mid-range shots, driving to the basket, and obviously they started off the game with a 3. They kept trying to go back to it. Hit a few, not as many as they would have liked to, but off to a decent start here again in the second half. They've pushed this lead up to 8, which is one of the larger leads. The largest lead that Wheaton has held so far tonight has been 11 points. See what the Pioneers have to come back from this deficit.
3's off the mark, though, for Vickerson. A Carroll offense that averages about 75 points per game, 5th in the CCIW. Vanderwood, nice inside cut, and he's stripped. Devin Martin was, and he'll stay with Wheaton, though.
All ball there. Wofford, very good defense and awareness. Martin tried to go up for the layup there, but just couldn't get it.
Nebbs again. Boom goes the dynamite.
Another big boom by Kyle Nebbs. If I were one of the Costco guys, I'd give that 5 big booms.
What about Aaron Wofford responding right back for Carroll?
Bar for bar, band for band, blow for blow, shot for shot.
Aaron Wofford, senior, former CCIW first-year student athlete of the year back in the 2021-22 season, averaging close to 10 points after averaging 13 a season ago on 53% true shooting. Martin dices. Martin spinning back to Kyan Vanderwood. He gets a look. Spins out, though.
Looks like there could have been a little contact on the release from Vanderwood. Refs didn't call it.
Wofford, too strong though. Kylo Simpson the rebound. Here's now his brother Kobe against Soren Richardson. Neighbor, one more pass to Kobe. That one off the mark.
See if the Thunder continue their air raid attack as they drive to the basket.
Kyan Vanderwood fouled by Jacob Neighbor, and that should send Vanderwood to the line.
Vanderwood and Nebbs are leading the pack for the Thunder right now. Nebbs 14 points. Vanderwood, 13 points. Both have been very productive so far in this game.
Kyan Vander with 3 double-doubles in the last 4 games. Of course, 17 points, 10 rebounds against North Park. Scored a career-high 20 points against Illinois Wesleyan about 2 weeks ago. But he seems to be someone that just seems to get more comfortable as the season progresses.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about narratives, Hayden. The narrative around this team is that they're young and inexperienced. But as the season goes on, they're getting more experience. They're getting more comfortable. And like we've talked about, they're building chemistry with one another. Obviously, it takes a little bit for things to start clicking, especially coming from high school to playing on the next level. But Coach Shower's put a lot of trust into these freshmen, and he's kind of allowed them to take charge of this team, so to speak.
And Coach Shower talked about the attitude of this team on that losing streak being absolutely phenomenal despite having lost 13 straight. Inside again, that one a little too strong. Kylo with another rebound. Trying to go inside the neighbor, but being taken away by Richardson. Fast break, Noah Hedrick to the cup.
And that's exactly what you want if you're the Wheaton Thunder. 7 fast breaks in the first half for the Thunder, none by Carroll, and it continues to roll over into the second half.
Let's quickly go around the rest of the CCIW because this is the final game of Saturday. Really a lot of shockers. Illinois Wesleyan losing to Carthage. That was a crucial battle, 85-74. But also North Park, they lost to North Central 86-81, and then Augustana beat Milliken 74-52. So with that being said, there are now 3 teams who have clinched bids into the CCIW tournament, being Carthage, Illinois, and North Park. But because Illinois Wesleyan and North Park lost twice, one on Wednesday and one today, all of a sudden Carthage is now in first place in the CCIW. If the season were to end today, both Carthage and Illinois Wesleyan would technically be named co-CCIW champions, but the CCIW tournament would go through Kenosha instead of Bloomington.
Yeah, obviously you want the home court advantage. If you don't want to go, if you're Illinois Wesleyan, you've led all season. You've been one of the predominant teams, in the CCIW, in the country. You wouldn't want to give up that home court advantage. Luckily, the season doesn't end tonight, and they have a chance to secure that home court advantage in the next week or 2.
Wofford able to knock down that mid-range J. But speaking of North Central, 2 big wins against second-ranked Illinois Wesleyan. Now against North Park. All of a sudden, they're right back in the CCIW race at 6th place.
Yeah, they've found themselves in a very interesting position, as Nebs missed the 3. But yeah, they found themselves in a very interesting position. A lot of the times, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. I know that's a cliche that we hear far too often. But being able to make the tournament and make a deep run can make all the difference in a season, especially as you're vying for a bid to the NCAA tournament.
Aaron Wofford's 3, that one is blocked though, and a foul going to go against Kobe Simpson.
Across college sports, how many times have we seen a low-ranked team go into a tournament, win the tournament, and then make a little bit of a run? Kind of the Cinderella story narrative that we hear far too often.
Of course, the lowest seed that has won the CCIW tournament off the top of my head would be Elmhurst. I believe Elmhurst won it back in the 2022-23 season.
Yeah, for those of you who don't remember, it was a great season for Wheaton then, obviously battling against Elmhurst several times throughout the season. Elmhurst coming up big in a couple of those games. I know one of those went into overtime. At least one of them went into overtime.
Someone may need to check my history. It may be off, but I believe Elmhurst did pull that off, or at least made it all the way to the CCIW championship game, because that was the season North Park and Wheaton made the tournament. So I might be wrong on that. Meanwhile, here's Wofford able to spray the mid-range J. Just like that, Aaron Wofford, he has 15 points, which leads the team.
Did you expect such volatility from the CCIW this late in the season?
Well, the CCIW ranks as the 4th best conference if you look at the ELO rating, as there's another mid-range J, that time I believe by Justin Steinecke. But yeah, the 4th best conference by ELO rating according to Matt Snyder of D3 Datacast. How about that?
I think that's quite accurate. This is one of the premier conferences in all of college sports.
Hedrick for 3, pounces out. Kyan Vanderwood with the rebound. But the conferences ahead would be the WIAC at 3rd, the UAA at number 2, and then the NESCAT at number 1. Of course, Wesleyan, the number 1 ranked team in the country.
Well, there you go.
Hedrick for 3 again. Leaves it short this time. Another offensive rebound. Feed it to Vanderwood. It got blocked, but they're going to call the foul against Evan Bland.
and Bland can't believe it. Let's go back to the replay here. Richardson dishes underneath to Vanderwood. Bland might have got either over the back or a little bit of connection on Vanderwood's hand. Vanderwood's going to go to the line for 2 here. Obviously, Vanderwood has been very well off this season.
So to correct my previous claim, Elmhurst back in the 2022-23 season did not win the tournament. It was North Park who won it, but Elmhurst did go all the way, I believe, to the CCIW championship game as a 4 seed, but it was North Park who won it, so correction about that. So don't take my word for it.
Yes, Aiden, you would be correct. North Park was a bit of a dark horse that year, and then the next year after that, that would have been the 23-24 season. They started off very highly ranked in the CCIW. I think a lot of people around the horn would have picked them to win first, would have picked them to take first in the CCIW that year, coming off a strong performance in the tournament in the 22 season.
Now kind of going back to the rest of the CCIW, I mean, you go into Saturday thinking maybe the CCIW could put 2, 3 CCIW teams in the playoffs, but with all these results, I mean, Illinois Wesleyan losing, Carthage getting a much needed win. Right now, Illinois Wesleyan would probably still make the tournament. They rank 5th. According to Matt Snyder, D3 Datacast. Of course, these rankings were taken way before the results tonight. But Carthage is 29th. They rank 12th among Pool C teams. They would get into the tournament, but for North Park, dropping 2 straight has been costly because they rank 23rd among Pool C teams, and you need to be in the top 21 if you're going to qualify for an at-large bid. But those results for North Park are huge.
Yeah, most definitely. It'll be interesting to see how things shake out. Obviously, if the CCIW sends 2 teams or 3 teams to the tournament, that speaks numbers for the level of competition that you have coming into this conference.
Wheaton holding on to a 9-point lead. By the way, if the CCIW tournament were to begin, Carthage and Illinois Wesleyan would get the bye. North Park would play North Central at North Park, and then Augustana would host Elmhurst. That's with the updated standings with the 3 games that have been played already. Of course, this result somewhat important. If Wheaton loses tonight, they're eliminated from the CCIW tournament, as there's a foul drawn by Kylo Simpson.
Let's go back to the replay here. Simpson just comes around the horn and wants to go up, but draws the foul, and he'll head to the line.
And Kylo Simpson, 13 points the last time out against Wheaton. Coach Jansen calls him an elite defender, does a little bit of everything, quote unquote, the heart and soul of our team, a competitive spirit that is contagious. And this is pretty cool. Kobe and Kylo are related, but Kylo is actually adopted. In the Simpson household, you have 9 kids. As that second free throw misses, going basically empty from the free throw line.
9 kids, 8 siblings. I'm sure sharing rooms was a bit of a hassle, especially sharing bathrooms early in the morning, having to get ready for school.
That shot was blocked there by Lamar Smith. And here comes Carroll ensuing possession, a 3. It pounces out, though, for Justin Steinecke. But 9 kids, 4 biological, 5 from Haiti. So Kylo's technically from Haiti. That mid-range jumper's no good, rather floater's no good for Devin Martin. And again, it is Evan Bland, but he's fouled.
How rewarding must it be for Kylo and Kobe to grow up together, and play this game together, bond as brothers, and then make it all the way to the collegiate level to where they're both starting on the same team in college.
Of course, 4 of the Simpson family clan, their kids were all varsity stars in high school. And also what's pretty cool is that you had 2 more kids that were adopted after the 2010 earthquake in Haiti, Ovani and Ezekiel. So again, 9 total kids, what a crazy household. But still a very impressive household with a lot of basketball players.
Very talented, very accomplished household.
As Evan Bland, someone who's shooting 60% from the free throw line, knocks down the second free throw as the lead is cut to 7. Vanderwood, that one a little bit too tall, and here comes Steinecke.
Steinecke, great off the tip drill there.
Lamar Smith, can't finish though. There's Jack Spears now ensuing possession. Kyle Neps fell down. I wonder if the crowd wanted a foul or not.
Nebs hit the deck pretty hard on that one. Got tangled up.
Vanderwood, and it looks like he stepped out of bounds. Regardless, it's going to be Pioneers' ball.
It was an interesting scuffle. A little rigmarole back and forth between these two teams here.
Well, we talked about how Coach Jansen, he was able to survive cancer. He also wrote a book called Leave Better Than Found, using that positive energy as Steinicke's 3 is off the mark.
That's certainly got to change your outlook on life. I know having family members who have battled through cancer and who have come, close with that, definitely from a bystander's perspective, it changes your aspect. But I can't imagine what it does to you internally.
There's Soren Richardson yet on another floater. He has 12 points, but he also runs a basketball camp called Performance Max Basketball, and he believes that sports can be used as a positive influence for the youth.
I totally agree, 100%. Not only does it have the physical aspect of it, right? But you have the team building aspect, you have the community aspect, you have the ability to form bonds and relationships in ways that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise. Sports, I believe, are essential to any young child's life.
Lamar Smith going to the free throw line, and Parker, if I'm not mistaken, you spent some time abroad. I believe, what country was it again?
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. Did you do anything that was sports related within that country?
Yes, I did. I played semi-professional football in the Czech Republic for a team called the Prague Lions. And let me tell you, for them, football's more of a bottom-tier sport. So you see a lot of people who have kind of fallen out of the soccer, hockey, basketball hierarchy and fallen into football. But it's the idea of having the team aspect. There's a lot of community around it. For me, it was a great experience, a great growth experience. Not only did it teach me a lot about the game of football and a lot about athletics, but it taught me a lot about myself, and it taught me a lot about how to deal with people cross-culturally. And that's something that you can't necessarily replicate in a lot of different spheres.
4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block now for Lamar Smith, knocking down that second free throw. It's now a 7-point game. Richardson maneuvers, and he's fouled. And it looks like the foul is going to go against Evan Bland.
That'll be the 4th team foul so far this half from the Pioneers.
Of course, big headline, you mentioned this, Parker. Soren Richardson, 53 points, 3rd most points in a game by a Wheaton player. Number 2 and number 1 is Aston Francis. Francis had 54 points against UW Platteville, and then 62 points against Marietta in the Elite 8. Of course, that season, Wheaton went all the way to the Final Four. What an incredible career for Soren Richardson. It's crazy that he's only a sophomore.
I'd like to speak to that Marietta performance by Aston Francis. One day, it's no secret, I played on the Wheaton College football team. I was an offensive lineman. One day last year, our head coach, Jesse Scott, walks into the room. He was the offensive line coordinator, coach at the time, and he walks into the room. He said, "Have you guys ever seen Aston Francis's performance in the Elite 8? It's the best basketball performance I've seen from a player ever." And he proceeds to put on the game film.
There's Kylo Simpson draining a mid-range J. Well, I asked Coach Schauer, give me your Mount Rushmore of Wheaton players that you coached. He had a hard time making the list, but he ended up with Cade Alliott, Aston Francis, Tyler Peters, and Tyson Cruikshank. Richardson, a little bit too strong, though, for Soren.
I'm very surprised Nami Adon didn't make the Mount Rushmore. Obviously, an All-American and a very seasoned player, now playing overseas.
As I believe Nick Van Ekeren on that last shot for Carroll. Richardson for 3. Trey's out though.
Good ball movement by Wheaton there, getting it around the horn. Wasn't able to convert on that 3-pointer right there, but a great selection.
But going back to Aston Francis, he did play abroad, but he recently, back in March of 2024, accepted a head coaching gig at his former high school. There's another deep 3. It's buried though by Kobe Simpson.
That 3 by Simpson garners a big boom from the Carroll bench.
That one taken away by Nick Van Ekeren, and here comes Carroll. But Aston Francis, a head coach at All Saints Episcopal School, and it looks like that's going to be Wheaton ball. What's funny, because Aston Francis, when he was there at high school, his dad, Eddie Francis, was the head coach. And so you're basically going from father to son.
You're passing the torch, so to speak. And in cases like that, where you have a very accomplished father, you have an accomplished son who's played at multiple different levels, you want to keep it in the family at that point. If you're the school, if you're the system, the family has a culture of winning, and that's what you want to breed, especially in the longevity of a program.
Richardson 8 on the shot clock. Picked up there by Eric Victorson. 3 to shoot now for Devin Martin. Martin lost the ball on the way up, but they're going to call the foul against Kobe Simpson.
Yeah, Simpson got a little bit of Martin's hand there as he was going up. Martin very lucky to draw that foul. He'll go to the line.
And Coach Schauer, multiple times when we've talked over the last couple of months, he uses the word talented, gifted, and growth. That seems to be the 3 words he loves to use, and he has a lot of praises. Soren Richardson, of course, for obvious reasons, but also Kyan Vanderwood, Devin Martin, Christian Veers, and for Devin Martin, really good game against North Park last time out.
Yeah, Devin Martin is one of these freshmen that he's just put a lot of faith into and given him a lot of reign on the court. Obviously, Martin has, evolved into a starter so far this year. It's great. It'll be great to see the progression that he makes throughout his tenure here at Wheaton.
Timeout taken on the floor. So it's now all of a sudden cut down to a 3-point game. Parker, what have you liked so far from the Pioneers?
Yeah, I like the Pioneers' tenacity. They're not backing down from taking big shots. Now, obviously, when it comes to games like this, you can't get everything back in one shot. You can't just take it back in one fell swoop. You have to be very consistent. That's exactly what they've been doing. They've been forcing Wheaton to pass the ball and use ball movement in any way to their advantage. But also, the Pioneers have been able to force turnovers, and that's what's very paramount in cutting down big leads like this. What was once an 8 or 9 point lead has now been cut down to 3 points. It's never too late for a run.
Of course, for Soren Richardson, this was a little fun thought experiment. I had a little bit too much time on my hands, but for Richardson, he right now has 732 career points entering this game. I decided for fun, what if we try to simulate the rest of his career? So I decided, okay, he's averaging about 22.4 points per game, which is obviously leading the CCIW, also good enough to be 18th in all of Division III. But if you average that out for the next 55 games, so basically because 25 regular season games per season and then the final 5 regular season games, he would score 1,964 points, which would put him 5th all time behind Mel Peterson, who has 2,542, Aston Francis, who has 2,406 career points, Kent Raymond, who has 2,308, and then Mark Johnson, who has 2,044.
That would most certainly be an impressive career, and I have no doubt his career will shape out that way.
Kobe Simpson missed everything, though. But just to make it really clear, it is a very flawed thought experiment as well, because Soren Richardson, as that ball goes out of bounds, it will stay with Wheaton. But for Soren Richardson, he could average more points than 22.4 going to his junior and senior. And also, Wheaton could play in the CCIW tournament and the NCAA tournament. I'm not taking that into consideration, but still a pretty nice thought experiment. It's crazy what you think of Soren Richardson.
Oh, yeah, he's phenomenal. He's blossomed into an amazing ball player so far here at Wheaton. And I'd like to mention this, just because it's really fun. His older sister, Annika Richardson, also plays on the women's basketball team. On Wednesday, they both combined for 89 points between the two of them.
Richardson had 15 points inside mid-range, Jay. Another rebound, and can't finish, though, for Jacob Neighbor. Of course, Tim Martin, our PA announcer, would argue this is the best brother-sister duo in the CCIW ever.
I would have to agree with him. It doesn't get much better than these two.
Richardson leaves it short.
Here's another nice little tidbit of thought for you, Aiden. There's a nice little basketball connection somewhat within the Wheaton community. I played football my freshman year with a wide receiver named Terrell Brown. Terrell Brown from North Carolina. I forget what school, but his father is the basketball coach at the school and coached Stephen Curry in high school.
Wow. I think they're going to get a shooting foul, if I'm not mistaken, for Kobe Simpson. Let's check the replay. And since that shot was released from the free throw line, from the 3-point line, it should be 3 free throws. It is. That's what the referees are conferring. But within the CCIW, you have a lot of great brother-brother duos. Of course, Carthage probably comes to mind. A.J. Johnson, Ryan Johnson, Carroll, Kylo Simpson, Kobe Simpson. North Central, when they had, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, who was that pair? Ethan Helwig and Matt Helwig.
I'll list off a few brother duos since I know a few. On the football side of things,
Okay, football side, sure.
on the football side, you had Luke and Braden Anthony, quarterback and defensive end for the Thunder. And then you had a trio of brothers, Clayton Reeves, Davis Reeves, and Eli Reeves, all played for the Thunder football program.
There's Nabs, able to go on the 45 cuts. He now has 16 points along with Kyan Vanderwood. How about this? Nebs, Vanderwood each have 16. Richardson not too far behind at 15.
Great performances so far out of these players.
Neighbors, and he's fouled. I believe they're going to call against Noah Hedrick, but are there any more brother duos within the football team, Parker?
Oh, man. Being put on the spot, yes. My roommate, Jackson Powell, and his brother, Dakota Powell. Shout out Jackson and Dakota. You guys rock.
Neighbor now back at the free throw line. Most accurate free throw shooter on the team, albeit at 77%, ninth in the CCIW. Steven Schultz checks back in for Noah Hedrick. Second free throw is no good, so empty there for Neighbor. And Richardson loses the ball. Here comes Kylo Simpson. Draws the foul. Counted and one.
Simpson with some tenacity. Going up to the basket. Puts a little English on it, if you will. Able to get the and one. He'll go to the stripe for one. See if he can convert this three-point play.
12 points so far for Kobe Simpson. Aaron Watford leading the way with 15. As the referees are talking with Coach Jensen, it looks like a stoppage of play. 7:42 left to go. 67-64. And Parker, what can Wheaton do? Obviously, they've had the lead for most of this game. Harrell's been, throwing some punches, but what can they do to sort of just prevail and get this second consecutive win?
Here's the deal. I know a lot of people argue with this stat, time of possession, especially in football. Some people would say, Coach Scott would say, it's the most useless stat in all of football. Time of possession with the lead for Wheaton is very crucial here. If they can manage the clock well, take their time on their possessions, use up the shot clock, they're going to be able to do a lot of good things, especially if they take careful consideration with their shot selection. We need to see them go more into the paint like they did in the first half. In the first half, they had 30 points in the paint. They need to replicate that in a big way down the stretch here.
Of course, I've been saving this information for quite a while. This is coming from an article written by Oren Schwartz of the Daily Herald. But for Coach Schauer, for those who are not familiar, he's also the AD. He was named the AD about a year ago. But he talked about how he used home to describe Wheaton. Of course, he met his wife at Wheaton. All of his sons, Jacob, Kyle, and Caleb, went to or are attending Wheaton. And when I asked Coach Schauer back during the Thanksgiving time, what are you the most thankful for? He talked about his wife. He talked about his kids. But he's basically a Wheaton legend or figure through and through. Talked about how his first visit to Wheaton was back in 1987 as a junior back in high school, Richfield High School, to quote-unquote visit his sister. But he also credits a couple of other people like Coach Panner, Coach Madsen, Bill Stukes, and Brett Marhenka for helping him out as the AD.
Yeah, he's got a phenomenal support cast, and we've had, the unique ability to work alongside these fine men in our position as broadcasters. And I can just attest to how great and hard that they work for this program and how much support they give to Coach Schauer as the athletic director, because it's not an easy job.
Nice backdoor cut. Vanderwood, they're not going to call a foul. Tries again, and this time he's fouled by Jacob Neighbor.
Way to stay in there, Vanderwood. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Draw the foul, go to the line. Some very crucial free throws here.
16.7 rebounds and assists so far for Kyan Vanderwood. Again, a career-high 20 points at the Shirk Center against Illinois Wesleyan on January 25th. As he misses the first free throw, 7:16 left to go. Wheaton hanging on to a 2-point lead, looking for back-to-back wins for the first time since beating St. Norbert and St. Joseph. Also trying to avoid elimination, an outsider's chance to still make the CCIW tournament. And Parker, even though Wheaton, they're 4-16, 1-10 in CCIW play, that win against North Park has really brought a lot of energy back to this team.
Oh, it most certainly has, and you can see that it's palpable within the way that they play. It is very tangible in the way that their attitude has shifted, how their bench is reacting, how this crowd is reacting, how Coach Shower is reacting. Sometimes all you need is a spark.
I think Aaron Watford wanted a spark. He just tied the ball game at 68. He now has 18 points. Richardson on the mid-range J, springs out.
Chance the Rapper once said, "Spark the corpse with a pulse of life." And that's exactly what that win at North Park did.
Inside again, and another foul. Kobe Simpson likely going to go to the free throw line. Wheaton led it by as many as 11 points when they were up 56-45 with 5:41 left to go in the second half. Carroll can take their first lead since leading at 15-13 in the first quarter.
And there you have it. Carroll has taken their first lead in quite some time. Aiden, I just thought of another brother duo. They don't play on the same team, but they are here at Wheaton. Freshman Samuel Joseph, his brother Josh Joseph, plays on the football team.
For Samuel Joseph, I believe you're talking about one of the freshmen for the basketball team.
Yes, of course.
Joseph, freshman out of Lighthouse Point, Florida. Very nice guy. In fact, I had a chance to talk to him. A musician at his heart, specifically in jazz. 10 to shoot now for Vanderwood. Picked up by Kylo Simpson. Double team comes with Kobe, but he's still able to bang it in.
Vanderwood has a unique ability to sneak through defenders and lay the ball in so gently.
Wofford, you bet. What about that by Aaron Wofford? He now has 20.
Step back. Wow. Boy, do we have ourselves a ball game.
Coach Jansen described him as a natural scorer who has a knack for putting the ball in the basket. 6 points away from tying his career high, as that's going to be a turnover for Wheaton. Carroll ball.
We see some energy now with this Carroll team. Getting a little bit chippy out there. Some words exchanged from these Carroll players, but hey, they fought hard. Hey, and like we said earlier, on that Oregon Trail, the Pioneers had to endure some pretty harsh conditions. Some would say they had to go through some terrible storms. They had to weather the storm. The Pioneers tonight are weathering the storm decently well. It's all going to come down to the waning minutes of this ball game.
Wofford has 20 points, as we said before. He had 20 points against Widener at the start of the season. Ball on the ground now. Still being contested for. I believe Coach Jansen called a wise timeout with 5:29 left to go. And while we're in this moment, also Carroll leads 71-70. You're thinking about maybe the end of season awards. Soren Richardson is probably going to be an all-CCIW selection along with his sister. But if you're thinking about the most outstanding student athlete, you have a lot of noticeable names. Soren Richardson, probably one player, but also Ryan Johnson, AJ Johnson, Rico Powell, Nick Roper, a lot of good names. This CCIW has a lot of great players.
Yeah, this CCIW, like we mentioned earlier, this is one of the top premier conferences in all of Division III. You have a plethora of phenomenal athletes, a plethora of athletes who are, like you said, student athletes. They're top scholars, right? The list could go on. And we are very fortunate and very lucky to be watching several of those players here at Wheaton. Top newcomers as well to the CCIW. Some very viable options on this Wheaton team and some of these freshmen.
Wofford, that one pounces out though. Really wanted that three. And it looks like a foul going against the Pioneers as Richardson was running the other way. So Soren Richardson will head back to the free throw line. I believe they're going to call the foul against Lamar Smith of Carroll. But Coach Shower talked about, again, Soren Richardson's a sophomore, but he talked about the leadership role that Soren has taken. This was, a couple months ago. Nami Adomore, number 20. And in some ways, both guys are very similar. They both have strong work ethics. They're both leaders, but some of the difference that Coach Schauer talked about was how Odom, he likes to drive. Meanwhile, Soren Richardson, he likes to shoot. But another thing that Coach Schauer talked about was he tells Soren almost every single game to be the best player on the court, fight to be the best player on the court.
And what a testament to that mantra that Coach Schauer has pushed into Richardson's head.
That's Lamar Smith. 6 points now for Smith as the Pioneers back on top, 73-71, under 5 minutes to go.
This game definitely has us on the edges of our seats.
Pioneers looking for the sweep, by the way, for the first time since the 1989-90 season. Neves leaves that one short, gets his own rebound. He finds Vanderwood. Vanderwood unable to finish. Fight for the ball now with Kobe Simpson. And they're going to call a foul, not a jump ball. It's going to go, I believe, against Kyan Vanderwood.
They're going to say he didn't have a firm possession of two hands on it. The crowd is not liking this at all. An array of boos.
Both teams are in the bonus, so Carroll and Wheaton will be shooting free throws right away, but the fans can have their opinions on that, on whether it was a jump ball or not. Regardless, Kobe Simpson's going to the line.
There's a reason we have referees.
It's a 1-and-1. He misses, but Lamar Smith with the rebound. Carroll still has the ball.
This could be a crucial possession for the Pioneers.
Dickerson loses the ball. Wheaton ball.
I don't know about you. I'm a fan of video games. That looked like a little bit of a video game glitch right there. I'm not sure how the ball ended up where it did.
That's only the 10th turnover for Carroll now. Wheaton has turned it over 8 times. Meanwhile, the Pioneers 12 of 25 from the field in the second half at 48%. Wheaton 8 of 24 at 33%. Richardson steps back for 3. Cans the triple. How about that?
What a shot from Richardson. Takes the lead back for the Thunder, and the crowd loves it.
19.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals, and 2 blocks for Soren Richardson. And that's a miss right there for Lamar Smith. Here comes a jump ball. And how about Coach Schauer? They are pumped up.
Coach Schauer's loving it. Kyle Neves is loving it. The crowd is loving it.
It's still going to be Carroll ball. 3:42 left to go. Wheaton leading it by 1.
And we talked about that pulse of life, that North Park game.
There's a block and a foul. It's going to go against Wheaton. And it should send Eric Vickerson to the line.
We talked about that pulse of life that the win on Wednesday had for this Wheaton team. If you're in this environment, even if you're watching, I'm sure you're able to sense it. There is life yet within this Thunder basketball team.
It's going to be a shooting foul, so 2 free throws. I must admit the crowd was quite hectic on that last play.
They most certainly were. They're getting into it.
Let's give the audience a chance to hear it once more. Vickerson knocks down both free throws. Pioneers lead it 75-74. He now has 12 points, does Vickerson. Vanderwood will take the 3. Leaves it short, though.
Not enough juice on that one.
And it's a strip right there for Jacob Neighbor. Ball on the ground. Neves has it. And here comes Kyan Vanderwood on the assist. Vanderwood, he's fouled.
They're going to call it on the floor, on the shot. That's going to be very important here. Actually, semi-important. He'll go to the line either way.
Since both teams are in the bonus, it looks like the referees are discussing this, arguing with Kylo Simpson.
I think they're calling it on the shot. I don't know who they're calling it on. I do know that Evan Bland is 1 foul away from fouling out. He has 4 fouls.
So 3:10 now left to go to sort of give a little bit of a game reset. Wheaton has 4 timeouts. Carroll has 2. Both teams are obviously in the bonus. Parker, what's the strategy in the final 3:10 left to go?
Fight, fight, fight.
Okay, we're getting a call that they're potentially reviewing a flagrant foul. And it looks like well, I was going to say, was it going to be a flagrant foul? But it looks like the Carroll players are coming to the free throw stripes. And if it was a flagrant, they would be stepping back. But it looks like after review, it's going to be a common foul.
We've got the unique ability now to review these fouls. As we mentioned earlier, you can go over to the tablet on the sideline, on the scores table.
Referees are basically getting the same look that the audience back home is getting, so it's not like they're getting 10 different camera angles unlike Division I.
Tie game. Could we possibly be vying for an overtime game?
Vanderwood leaves the second free throw short right now, tying his career high with 20 points, just like he did against Illinois Wesleyan. Here comes a 3. Left short, though, by Eric Victorson. Vanderwood with the rebound.
Vanderwood getting very close to another double-double. 8 rebounds, 20 points.
That would be his 4th double-double if he gets it. Soren Richardson, get back!
Boom, 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 boom! Richardson hammers it down.
22 points now for Soren Richardson. Thunder up by 3. What a response there by Jacob Neighbor.
The big man going up. Both sides are so into this ball game.
Thunder up by 1. Neves, nice pass. Hedrick finishes.
Aiden, that's exactly what I was talking about earlier. That's what they needed to do. Very selective with the shots. Get the ball movement. You saw Hedrick cut in from the backside. Dish it right out underneath to him. Let him go up for the basket.
80-77, the Classic take a timeout after the play by Coach Shower. Thunder up by 3. Let's go back to that play. That 3 from Soren Richardson.
And what a shot by Richardson. Richardson leads all players tonight scoring with 22. His hot streak continues.
But how about getting it done on the defensive end as well? A career high 5 steals, but also 2 blocks for Soren Richardson, but also Kyan Vander with 20 points, 8 rebounds. Kyle Neves has 16 points and 6 boards. Noah Hedrick has 10. Kind of going back to the Carroll side, Aaron Wofford leading the way with 20 points, followed by Eric Vickerson and Jacob Neighbor, each with 12 points apiece. Wheaton with new life, 80-77, looking to pick up their 2nd consecutive win and their 2nd CCIW win here this season. Once on a 13-game losing streak. Wheaton playing with some life, 2:16 left to go. As you mentioned, Parker, Evan Bland really the only one in foul trouble. Meanwhile for Wheaton, Kyle Neves, Vanderwood, Devin Martin, each with 3 fouls. As both teams are in the bonus.
You got a few to give before you get worried. And it's at a time like this, where for the Wheaton Thunder, I would love to echo the words of Jameis Winston. Unwavering faith, unmatched belief, dependence on the Lord, as he so artfully put it during a pregame speech this year for the Browns.
Wheaton has made 3 out of their last 4 field goals. Kylo inside, can't hit, ball's loose, Vanderwood has it. How about that defense?
Stifling defense by the Thunder. This is an important possession. One shot right here, one opportunity to seize everything they ever wanted.
Wheaton also looking to pick up their first home win since beating Olivet and Lee Fun Classic consolation game. 2-11 on the year is Wheaton at home. Richardson.
Looks like there could have been a little contact there. A contested shot from Richardson, and he bangs it home.
Here comes a 3 on the inside possession. Well off there for Kobe Simpson. The crowd is letting him have it.
You hear that? You hear that? Air ball.
Parker, isn't this the best Saturday night basketball here this spring semester? Crowd actually alive.
The crowd is alive. They have life. It's the best semblance of energy and spirit that we have seen in quite some time here at King Arena.
Approaching nearly under 70 seconds now. Inside 45 cut back to Hedrick. Wheaton also trying to chew some clock. They're up by 5. Richardson, 5 to shoot. Richardson puts it up.
Oh my goodness! Richardson, are you serious? Contested!
Kobe Simpson almost lost it inside. They got blocked, but they're going to call the foul against Wheaton.
What a shot by Richardson! Let's go back to this shot here. Look at him in the corner. One of the hardest places to shoot. Heavily contested. String music. Nothing but net. He bangs it home.
27 points now for Soren Richardson. Jacob Neighbors now at the line. 2 shots here. Knocks down the first free throw. A 77% free throw shooter is Neighbor. As also his first make in this ball game, previously 0 for 2.
Aiden, you and I are both seniors. We've been here for 4 years now. Some of my best memories, my past 4 years here at Wheaton College, had been in King Arena on Saturday nights.
Able to knock down both free throws, so it's now a 6-point game. 43.4 seconds left to go. Carroll is going to press. Oh, the ball is taken away out of bounds, or they're going to roll it. It's going to be Wheaton ball, though.
They're going to be fouling now. You got to get the ball into the hand of your best free throw shooter.
It'll be Richardson to trigger it, guarded by Kylo Simpson. Hedrick. They don't foul yet. They're trying to trap. The ball goes out of bounds, and it will stay with Wheaton. So
full court press is a little bit stifling here for the Thunder. Trying to move to their end of the court.
Wheaton, after this game, has 3 straight road games. Richardson again, they get it to Kyan Vanderwood. Here comes the trap. Back to Devin Martin, and another stoppage of play. And looks like Coach Schauer is going to take a timeout. That will now be 2 timeouts left. 85-79, 34.9 seconds left to go. And I'm assuming if you're Carroll, you're fouling, right?
Oh, 100% you're fouling. You got to be deliberate with who you foul. Make sure you're like really guarding and pressing their best players. There's not much else you can do. Guard the ball.
Soren Richardson putting on an excellent night, 27 points once again. But for Wheaton, after this, they'll be at Millikan, at Carthage, at Augustana, and then North Central to end things up here at King Arena. Meanwhile, for Carroll, they'll be on the road again at North Park, and then 2 home games, Augustana and North Central, and then they'll end things at R.A. Fagnall Hall against Elmhurst on February 22nd.
For tallying together Richardson's last 2 games so far, 110 points. Sorry, my math is way off there. 100 points, I believe.
So now Devin Martin is going to go to the free throw line.
Again, my math is wrong. 80 points.
6 points in a rebound and 6 assists for Devin Martin. Someone who's developing more and more into that vocal leader that Coach Schauer really likes. And starting to extend this Wheaton lead.
The moment is not too big for the freshman. Nerves of steel.
Martin knocks down the second free throw, and Wheaton is back up by 8.
Can you hear it? The fat lady is singing.
Carroll has to hurry. The ball's on the ground again. Here comes Kobe Simpson, spins inside, able to bang it in. They'll immediately go right away. Kyle Neves lost the ball, stays with the Thunder though. 19.2 now left to go.
You would almost ask, is it too little, too late for the Pioneers? It's a 2-possession ball game when you boil it down.
You think Carroll's just going to foul straight up?
100%. They don't have a choice. 19 seconds left. They've got to do something.
Richardson, and they immediately foul him. So Soren Richardson right now staring at 27 points. He will go back to the free throw line, of course. Big free throws against Lake Forest. as well, I believe, against Concordia, Wisconsin. So really can get it done in so many different ways. In fact, 83% from the free throw line, 8th in the CCIW, fourth most free throw attempts at 106 entering tonight.
And he bangs the first one home. It's a 3-possession ball game now.
Second free throw is good. Clock is running. Carroll does not call timeout. Simpson back to Wofford. Vanderwood gets the steal. Vanderwood, that is a new career high. 22 points for Kyan Vanderwood. And it's also going to be Wheaton ball. Wheaton on the verge of another win.
What a night for the Thunder. Home crowd coming off a huge win.
Let's give the crowd a chance to hear this.
And there you have it, folks. Back-to-back wins for the first time since the 2022 season.
91-81, your final from King Arena.
What an absolutely amazing ball game. Well-rounded, a tenacious fight from both teams. Wheaton went on a much-needed run there at the very end to secure this win and to spark some life into this team. They are not out of it yet. Stranger things have happened.
It's been a crazy CCIW. Again, Illinois Wesleyan losing 2 straight. North Park losing 2 straight. Let's get this look. Coach Schauer, how about that?
The classic move by Coach Schauer, pumping up the crowd. He's loving it, the team's loving it, the crowd's loving it. We're all loving it here at King Arena on a snowy Saturday night in Wheaton, Illinois.
Again, Wheaton's next home game is senior night North Central on February 22nd. Alongside Parker Rogers, I'm Aiden Kong signing off on the Wheaton Thunder Sports Network.